Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, to discuss next steps in curbing climate change. Key topics are compensation and support for the most affected countries. Elsewhere, millions of Americans will vote in the midterm election today with the balance of power in Congress at stake. The entire U.S. House of Representatives, about a third of the Senate, and key state governorships are up for grabs. President Joe Biden, a Democrat, and ex-President Donald Trump, a Republican, made their closing arguments in competing rallies. Mr. Biden's ability to pass laws will be stymied if the Republicans take the House, as most projections expect. Democrats currently control the White House and by razor-thin margins both chambers of the Congress. In Canada, the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has accused China of attempting to interfere in the country's elections. Mr. Trudeau accused Beijing of playing aggressive games with democracies and of targeting Canadian institutions. It comes as local media reports that Canadian intelligence identified as clandestine network of Beijing-backed candidates at recent elections. At least 11 candidates were supported by China in the 2019 federal elections, officials have reportedly told Trudeau. Citing unnamed intelligence officials, local broadcaster Global News reported that Beijing has directed funds to the candidates and that Chinese operatives had acted as campaign advisors to many candidates. In the United States, U.S. Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has confirmed communication channels between Washington and Moscow remain now open. It comes as the White House refuses to deny reports that Mr. Sullivan has been leading talks with Russia to prevent a nuclear escalation in Ukraine. Speaking in New York, Mr. Sullivan said it was in the interest of the U.S. to maintain contact with the Kremlin, but he insisted officials were clear-eyed about who they are dealing with. The Wall Street Journal reports that Mr. Sullivan has held confidential discussions with his Russian counterpart, Security Council Secretary Nikolai Patrushev, and senior Kremlin foreign policy aide Yuri Ushakov over the past several months. And finally, Foxconn, which makes iPhones for Apple, says it is deepening its investment in a U.S. electric pickup truck by firm which could challenge Tesla's Cybertruck. The technology giant is spending up to $170 million on shares in the loss-making startup Lordstown Motors. The major cash injection comes as the company aims to ramp up production for its debut model, the Endurance. Lordstown recently began building the vehicle at a former General Motors plant in the U.S. state of Ohio. Under the deal, the world's largest contract manufacturer of electronics bought more than 18% stake in Lordstown, making it the largest investor in the company. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's news in brief. Thank you for watching Channel 44. Pastor Jessica Kayanja is coming on with the Marriage Now program, where she continues to preach to us and minister to us on the glory of God. You do not want to miss the impact of this great message from the woman of God. Stay tuned to Channel 44. You will be blessed. I also remind you of the Karamoja Cry. We are sending Karamoja Christmas Karamoja to the people of Karamoja. Please send your seed to the numbers that will be available during the services, even during the lunch hour program that is coming up next. You will be tremendously blessed. Alternatively, you can bring your seed to the Miracle Center Cathedral at the reception, or you can sow your seed in the services. You will be tremendously blessed. God bless you. Enjoy your afternoon. Good afternoon.